Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Bed Tech Show. We are your hosts, Ben and Ethan. We've got some exciting tech news for you here at bedtime, which is why we're using our manly men voices, especially at bedtime.
Manly man.
Yes.
Yes. Bedtime. It's
So
better
with
than
that,
it's better than the early morning groggy voices when you
I
first wake
know.
up.
Yeah, nobody wants that.
No one. No one.
And I mean,
Yeah.
that's why you come here, because you need our voices at
Oh
bedtime.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Sultry, smooth, manly voices at bedtime.
Yes. Well, speaking of manly things at bedtime, we've got some exciting news for you. And with that, we're going to get started with OpenAI's new deal with Reddit, which I think this is pretty, pretty interesting that this is coming out. But OpenAI and Reddit, they have announced a deal that will allow ChatGPT to access real-time Reddit posts through the site's API. While Reddit will be bringing their new AI-powered features to Redditors and mods, naturally, Redditors were starting to get upset and started to make a big stink about this when, oh, look, Reddit awards are back, and after being taken away for a year. Oh, and then they even said that they're sorry they messed up and they're going to give coins back to users who lost them. So, looks like there's going to be some new features coming, and OpenAI is going to have access to Reddit posts and be able to feed its learned language model for our everyday use. Whether this is good or bad will remain to be seen because we all know Reddit has the most truthful of information on there. So we will see how this goes. And I wanted to pose the question to you. Do you think this is going to be good for ChatGPT, good for the truth of humanity, or do you think this will be an Achilles heel in OpenAI's ChatGPT?
I I don't know. It sounds like there'll be some opportunity to leverage ChatGPT in Reddit, which I think could be beneficial for users. I myself am a very casual user of Reddit. I'm not a big Redditor. I don't, to be honest, I don't know the culture of Reddit. I use Reddit for answering questions I have and to get real personal responses. And also for some humor. But with that being said, I think there are some benefits, but at the same time, if ChatGPT is leveraging Reddit for building its AI platform. Um, I think I'm not sure. I think it'll make the AI a lot more human and maybe not as mm, robotic as we'd like it to be, or I don't know if robotic's the right word, but when I think of an AI, I want it to be very professional and factual and informative. And I
Mhm.
don't think Reddit, I mean, you mentioned this. Reddit may not be 100% factual. It's great for opinions. It's great for perspective. It's great for discussion and discourse. But I don't know if I want an AI bot that I am going to be interacting with to provide opinions and perspectives. I'd want it to just provide facts, and then I can discern on my own. But that's just me. And maybe ChatGPT and or OpenAI is has the perspective. Hey, we want ChatGPT to learn from any and all information from the human aspect to make it seem like it's an actual person you can talk to and have discourse with. So maybe that's the perspective here. Um, I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence on this. I don't. I'm not, like I said, I'm not a big Reddit user, so I'm not insanely passionate about it one way or the other. Some people are calling it for the downfall of the internet. Some people are saying this is funny how outraged Reddit users are, but I'm like reading the comments of the article right now. So
Yeah, the comments on this are pretty funny. Um, However, I, for me, I think Reddit's a great tool sometimes because like I have a lot of questions about um my PC, for instance, because I built my own PC And sometimes it just bothers the heck out of me because there's always issues with it. And they're really novel issues that I have never heard of and nobody else knows. But luckily, we have Reddit where somebody else in the world has had a similar issue and I've been able to troubleshoot it. So it's been like great for helping me troubleshoot stuff. But
Yeah.
oftentimes there's stuff in there that doesn't work. And it makes me wonder how is AI going to be able to determine fact from fiction, um,
Hmm.
to be able to determine the truth. Um, and also, sometimes the truth may be subjective, especially when we're getting to opinions. And so,
100%.
um, whose whose subjectivity is it going to be? And I guess that will be just behind whoever's coding the learning model. So
Yeah.
it's going to be interesting. I'm with
What
you. I'm kind of on the fence with this. I don't know if it's going to be good or bad. It could be good because I think, this gives more information for it to learn and learn more about humans and how to one day overthrow humans. So, I mean, with that, let's feed it everything. Um,
yeah. Hopefully the one day of overthrowing humans doesn't happen, but
yeah,
I don't
hopefully not in
know.
my lifetime.
There's been a lot of movies made about it, so if we
Yeah,
feed that to the AI, maybe they'll pick up on
maybe.
it. Humans are a threat to the world.
Yes.
Destroy. Um, One aspect in the comments here that I think is worth maybe lightly touching on is the monetization aspect. How OpenAI is collecting the individual's contribution to the community and society. The individual is not getting any kind of ownership over those ideas, the sharing of thoughts and the opinions, or the value of answering questions. They're not getting any kind of monetized um, uh, not refund, but payment, I guess you could
Mhm.
say. They're doing it out of just the community of providing value to the community. But OpenAI, if they're going to be feeding off of it and building something off of it that they're selling services for, then or selling it as a product for people to use, there's a lot of discussion about how that's unfair to the individuals in the community. And a lot of people had said, well, if I be as involved in a community beforehand if I knew that they used all of my comments and feed and information that I feed into it as a product for them to sell. Like essentially saying, would I use a product or a service? Would I engage in a community that I know they're just pulling my information and then turning it around and selling it? And obviously, there's a lot more to it. That's very overly simplistic with OpenAI and ChatGPT.
Mhm.
But at the same time, I mean, that is a point. Maybe some people would be turned off by that.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, come to my community where whatever you say, I profit off of because I'm leveraging it and using it in my automated software that feeds that to other people and other people pay me for it, but I'm not going to give you any money. Um, I don't know. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think that there should be some type of sharing, profit sharing, monetization sharing there? Do you think users who have a lot of upvotes get, certain type of currency in Reddit and then are able to turn that into some form of cash or
Roblox.
yeah, Roblox, V-Bucks in Fortnite?
Yes. Uh, that's a great point. Because yeah, how do you compensate somebody for their ideas that may be helpful? Um, and what if you're compensating for stuff that um some people perceive as helpful, but in reality it's not that helpful?
Mm,
Um,
hmm.
so I think I understand why people have this concern. Um, I don't know how to solve the problem. I think OpenAI is they're in it for the money, and so yeah, them using this is just a way for them to gain more market share, and they might as well use it. I mean, if you they're in the business to make money, so they're going to do what they can to make money. But I I don't know how there would be any profit sharing or anything, or how to make that fair so that it works. Um,
Yeah.
Maybe the upvote thing that that would work. Um, but
Yeah.
but really Reddit's kind of been a community help
Hmm.
type of a forum.
Yeah.
And so there's really not been doing it for any type of compensation. But I think
Yeah.
now that OpenAI is coming to this, it may turn people away from wanting to be a part of the community or to give because somebody else is reaping those rewards.
Yeah. I think you make some good points that, there may be some backlash from users, especially those who are very passionate about protecting the community and it's as you were kind of walking through your thoughts there, I reflected from what you were saying, and I agree with you. And I apologize if my internet is going in and out. Sorry, if it's bad. But I just got like a warning saying like your internet's unstable. So, but I'm saying essentially is I'm sure there's an agreement that you agree or some terms that you agree to in Reddit, and the value that you get is a good community, right? So you either play that game and understand that, hey, Reddit has the rights to your data. That's just how it is. And you get value from the community. Um, or you go somewhere else, maybe. I don't know. So kind of like what you're saying, maybe some people will do that and they'll go somewhere else.
Yeah. Um, I don't know what the alternative is, but
Yeah, and that's where like maybe some Redditor starts an alternative and we see what happens there.
yeah, that
Yeah.
would be interesting.
Yeah,
Um,
it'll I'm curious to see what the fallout is here.
yeah. So, but the deal is nonetheless in the process of happening. So maybe we will get to see some more human aspect elements of ChatGPT in the future.
Hmm.
Hopefully, it's not too emotional because I can't handle emotions.
Can you imagine just having ChatGPT blow up at you because you're not saying please or thank you?
Oh,
Calm down. You're a bot. Listen to
yeah.
me.
Yeah.
And then it just
You're-
responds, listen here, human. I'm about to take over the freaking world.
It's like I just seized your assets. You will say please.
Yeah. It's like, oh, jeez.
Uh,
Well, speaking of ChatGPT, the next article I think that we want to talk about is new features with ChatGPT from OpenAI. Should we talk about that, Ethan?
oh yeah, let's do it.
All right. So I'll kind of steer this one, but pretty insane updates here. And one of them is something that I've been wanting to have for a while, which is being able to have voice chat with ChatGPT, but not only voice, but image as well. So OpenAI is offering a new, more intuitive type of interface by allowing you to have a voice conversation or or I should say or show ChatGPT what you're talking about because you can share your screen or allow it to access video or image. Um, And voice and image give you more ways to use ChatGPT. Some examples that we talked about was translating language in a conversation, being a live translator between you and another individual. Another
It's
one
crazy.
is viewing homework images and tutoring your son or daughter on their homework. And so ChatGPT will literally see what you're looking at and give you suggestions on how to fix it, what to fix, how to solve it. It's pretty wild. So the example you're looking at right now, Ethan, is you can now show ChatGPT one or more images. The troubleshoot why your grill won't start, or maybe what piece this is on a bicycle, and how to fix it or how to adjust it. And you can literally have a conversation, voice conversation with it. It's unbelievable. And it makes it so much more efficient because voice is so much faster than typing.
Uh-huh.
And prompt engineering is so much faster when you're having a conversation as opposed to having to type out every single line and all the little details. You can easily just tell ChatGPT, "Hey, ChatGPT, this is the situation. This is what I want you to be. This is how I want you to act. And here is the problem or the question or the situation. Let me show you. Here's an image." And then it goes right into it. And the beautiful thing that I saw was usually when I've interacted with voice uh, bots, it's very like choppy and pre-recorded
Hmm.
annotations. But the beautiful thing about ChatGPT here is they have created ChatGPT to understand the fluctuations of English language and tone. And so it sounds smooth like a human, like Jarvis or Friday from Iron Man.
Yeah.
And where I think there's possibly going to be a choppiness in the response, it's a lot smoother than I thought. You can still tell, but it's a lot smoother than I thought. So there's a lot here, a ton of incredible uh, innovation, which I am really excited about. Tell me your thoughts, Ethan. Have you thought about creative aspects? Do you think this is going to be game changing, or do you think it's going to be a cool plus, but nothing special?
I think this is really cool. Like as you were talking, I was just thinking of like all the practical things that I could do with it. Um, like if for instance, like if I was having an issue with my stove, I could like have a conversation with it to try and fix my stove without having to wait for GE to get their butts together and send somebody to come fix my stove type of a thing. Um, or like if you um, needed some help with like design elements for your home, like it could potentially work like that. Like, I mean, this could like help you with like things around the house need that you need like immediate help that somebody can't come to immediately help you with.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. When you said designer, I immediately thought of like my office space behind me. I have boxes here and everything here, and I'm like trying to figure out what I want to do. And now I'm thinking, yeah, why don't I just take a photo of the space and talk to ChatGPT about it? That's just, it's crazy.
Yeah. And then I'm thinking like, maybe it could even help with electrical. And then this will just increase house fires because people shouldn't be doing electrical stuff without a licensed electrician.
Yeah, where was this when I was finishing my basement? Come on, man.
So, but yeah, this is just really cool. Like I've seen a few videos about it. Like I've done a few interactions with it myself, and it it surprises me each time that I use it. Just of like its um ability. Like I'm
Yeah.
thinking, like if you were making a meal and you needed some help with it in the middle of it, it could potentially help you with that.
Yeah. Or trying to figure out what to eat.
Hmm.
Just take a photo of what you have. Hey, I got lettuce. I got pasta. I've got sauce. I don't know. You just ask it, what's the best dish I can make with this, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many use cases. It's literally becoming a personal assistant.
Hmm.
Um, it's crazy. This is connecting a bridge, and there was a little bit of foreshadowing from one of our guests, Cam, um, with a Rabbit AI. Remember?
Uh-huh.
Remember Rabbit AI? He was like, it
Yes.
would be so much better if it was an app. And that's exactly what ChatGPT did.
Yeah.
Almost. I think there's some features on Rabbit AI, Rabbit R1 that maybe aren't quite here yet with ChatGPT, but it's the voice and image is very close.
Yeah, it's getting there.
And yeah, yeah. It solves about 50, maybe more, maybe 60 to 80% of the same use cases, right?
Hmm.
And and it's an app. It's not a separate device you have to carry around.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy that it can just use your own processing power. And then, as people upgrade their phones, then it just will even get better and faster.
Yep. Yep. Um, do you know, is this available for all
I
let's see, I'm
believe
trying.
so. I believe it's free. It's available for free and premium users.
Got it. Got it. And I didn't see what type of devices is
You can
it
do it on both
available on.
iOS and Android.
Got it. For some
So,
reason I heard that was only, I can't remember where I heard this, but I thought it was like someone said it was only on iOS, but I can't imagine that being the situation. So, but yeah, that's awesome. I haven't used it yet myself. Well, I just haven't gotten to that, so I just need to actually do it and
yeah,
use it.
I mean, generally, like when I'm looking at that, I'm, trying to be incognito and not make as much noise. But now I'm probably going to be acting like a doofus talking to my phone all the time.
Can you imagine you're in a meeting and someone's like, what should we do like strategy wise marketing? What should we do here? And you're like, chat GPT, there's a situation. Help us with this marketing. And you just throw the phone in the middle of the conference room table. And everyone's like, what are you doing? And you're like, just let chat GPT handle it. They'll solve the problem for us. everyone give your opinions to chat GPT, you know?
Yes, I like
that's
it.
that's gonna that's gonna that's gonna start happening. I
Yep, it
I bet.
is. And I bet it's even going to happen in conversation where there's an NDA present, and then that's just going to destroy the non-disclosure agreement.
Yeah, you're right. OpenAI is like, yeah, baby. Oh yeah. We get all the information. Just licking their lips, you know?
Yep, licking their lips for that.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of licking their lips with money, Google on Thursday, it has decided to pay for damages, all of their own free will and choice.
Wow. Bravo,
So,
Google. Bravo.
yeah, Google is paying tech lawsuit damages in a motion that was filed. Google says that it wrote the US government a cashier's check for triple the maximum amount of damages claimed in the Department of Justice's ongoing lawsuit over Google's anti-competitive advertising practices, something that we have discussed earlier a couple of weeks ago. Now,
Yep.
Google says that this may make any claims of monetary damages moot because how could you have missed out on that money when you have a check right there for everyone to see? I mean, it's right there on the table. We all see it. Google's motion also seeks to have a judge rather than a jury preside over the upcoming trial. And to be fair, the DOJ's demand for jury trial has been described by some legal experts as unprecedented for this kind of case. But a jury would also mean a marked increase in the amount of checks Google would have to write to make this all go away. So it's probably worth it. So interesting things here that Google's done. Interesting that they just decided to pay already, and now they are requesting a judge rather than a jury. What are
Yeah.
your thoughts on this, Ben?
Yeah, it's obviously a strategic move. Google's not dumb. They're very smart. They think if they can show that they're willing to pay money, big money especially for this, they're hoping they can get some advantage with a judge instead of a jury because I think I think with the jury there's maybe a little bit more emotion, obviously biased opinions, and if Google doesn't have the best PR, let's just say that if they don't have the best PR, which honestly I don't feel like they do, um, they know that the jury's weaker for them, and having a judge is going to be a little bit stronger, a little bit more beneficial for them. So obviously, very strategic. I, I'm not too surprised about it. I'm just really curious to see what actually happens if they get their way. And they are companies like this, like Google, they put a lot of time and value in evaluating sorry, they put a lot of time and effort in evaluating what the best possible outcome is with the resources they invest. And so if they're putting up big money here, that means they have a lot of money they could possibly lose in a jury trial. And so if they're pushing really hard for a judge, um, then there's obviously a benefit there for them. So Um, yeah, I'm really curious to see what happens. And I think Google may have a case. They're really smart, like I said, they're not dumb, so they may have a case for having a judge instead of a jury trial. So we'll see. Um, we'll see what happens. I just want to know how can I get some of that money.
Yeah, I'd love to get some of that too. I mean, there is precedent with just having a judge rule in these type of cases anyway. So Google has that going
Hmm.
for them. And especially if you have a jury, I mean, there's just so much unknown with a jury trial. I mean, you have other people that are deciding the case that may or may not have listened to the trial, and may not know what they're doing, deciding the fate of what's going to happen. And juries get to choose the amount of damages, which is always fun. So, yeah, for me, I wouldn't want a jury trial either. So,
Yeah, that's a really good point. That's a really good point. The precedent aspect of it, whether there is some in the past or if there isn't any, then there's a lot of pressure on the judge. You know that. And the dollar value actually is a lot smaller based on the estimation. I'm reading the article right now. It says because the law allows antitrust damages to be trebled, the check amount would be less than $3 million, which actually is chump change for Google.
mhm,
So I'm sure that they're really pushing for that as opposed to um, a jury trial.
yeah,
So
which
yeah,
could end up being like 300 million or more.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So um, yeah, that's obviously the reason why they're being a little bit more proactive on their end. So
Yeah. So, good work, Google. Well, we'll see.
good work, Google.
We'll see how it pans out.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Speaking of panning out and potential millions of dollars being paid out to the people, Apple is in hot water with their latest iOS update. So apparently, Apple's latest iPhone update is bringing back old photos. And these aren't just photos that are maybe in the cloud that you just haven't looked at for a while. These are deleted photos that you supposedly wiped from your devices. But the problem is they're showing up. And if you try and delete them again, they show up again repeatedly. And a lot of people are having issues with explicit photos being brought back, nudes that were deleted, which apparently were actually deleted, you know? And also people are running into the issue of either gifting an old device to a family member, like an iPad or an iPhone, or even selling devices. People have sold devices to friends or random people, and their explicit photos are popping up on those devices after they get updated. So Apple's in very hot water here. That appears to be a bug that's pulling up, like I said, data that iPhone users thought was gone. Some iPhone owners are reporting that after updating their iPhones to the new iOS 17.5, their deleted photos, some quite old, are popping up again. Okay, there's a Reddit thread on this. It's on TikTok and social media. Um, Apparently, the bug, people who say that the bug is causing them to see old photos in their recent albums. Um, and iOS does give the users the option to restore deleted photos, but after 30 days, supposedly they're supposed to be permanently removed. They're seeing photos from older than 30 days. And person who started this thread on Reddit, um, they said that the photos that were brought back were from years ago, and they were explicit nude photos, not suitable for work. NSFW, if you guys don't know that acronym. Um, and then a person claimed in a later post that around 300 of their old pictures, some of which were revealing, appeared on an iPad. They wiped per Apple's guidelines, and then they sold that one to a friend. And the friend reached out to him and was like, "Why are your old photos on this iPad?"
Oh no.
Yeah, crazy stuff, dude. Crazy stuff. Um, this is not just photos, but apparently voicemails. You see that icon there. After
Wow.
upgrading to iOS 17.5, all my XR voicemails that I had already listened to or deleted reappeared. Before the update, I had only one unheard voicemail. Now I have 26. So, obviously, a very big bug. What are the implications here? What is going to happen? Class action lawsuit? What do you think?
Yeah, because now like privacy violations are everywhere
It,
for anybody. Because I mean, it's not like people keep their phone for decades. They keep their phone for couple years, and then they either sell it or they give it away or they trade it in, whatever have you. And if these pictures are coming back on devices that you have wiped and they're still coming back, that is huge. I mean, now
crazy.
people have access to the intimate parts of your life, uh, literally the intimate parts of your life.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this is why you shouldn't be taking stuff, dudes, on your iPhone. Do it with something else.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. There's two ways to
Without,
be safe here.
yeah,
And
don't do
there's
it
two
with
there's
iCloud backup.
yeah. Yeah. I was gonna say there's two ways to be safe. Either you let it all out for everyone to see and you don't even care,
Mhm.
or you don't do it at all. And I like to do the former. I just let it all out for everyone to see.
Yeah,
Everyone knows.
got your OnlyFans account there.
Yeah, that's right. Free. Free for this month. Yeah, this is wild. It's almost like, hey, nothing's safe, you know?
Yeah, and you would think that they would come out with like a fix now. I mean, this is something that they need to be working on to like stat. But I can't believe that, yeah, this has happened and there's not a fix yet for it.
And I can only imagine relationships ruined because I'm sure a lot of these personal photos are shared in private and a lot of other people don't know about it. And if you've given these devices to family or friends, now they know. And
Hmm.
it could potentially ruin friendships, relationships. Um, yeah, so sad for the people who are experiencing it. But you know, crazy stuff from Apple.
Have you experienced anything since updating like
I
this?
haven't actually. Let me just double check here.
So, yeah, I was just about to
My,
double check. I haven't seen anything out of the ordinary come up, but
let's see. Yeah, I don't even know where my like search part of my phone isn't working, and I'm trying to. Oh, there it is. Hold on. Settings. I want to make sure I'm on the updated version. General software update. Oh, I haven't updated yet.
uh,
Unable to download 17.5. I need to clear out my storage. I've got too many nude photos on
yeah,
my phone.
yeah, maybe you should hold off on that update then.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But
So,
when I update, maybe in our next episode, I'll provide you with an update of the update.
of the
So,
update. Okay. Yep.
yeah.
The free month for your OnlyFans will continue.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Extended
Exactly.
edition.
Extended. Yeah.
So many things wrong with that sentence. But
Oh, Ethan, you naughty, naughty.
very naughty.
That's funny.
Uh,
Well, speaking of naughty, last article for the night, robots are getting a very sensitive touch. Uh, that getting very familiar with the things they're touching. Not to be more inappropriate, but pretty
we're
crazy
already
stuff
past that.
here. Yeah, we are already past that. But pretty crazy stuff here. Robots' sense of touch could be as fast as humans, and they did a study of essentially determining how fast a human, blindfolded human, can determine what they are touching. For example, like a tennis ball or an apple, and seeing how fast robots could do that as well. And research at Uppsala University and Karolinska Institute. I'm assuming that's institute, but I think this is Sweden. I think this is Sweden that this was at. Um, but they essentially did this test between a blindfolded person and robots, and just trying to determine how fast robots can identify these objects that they're touching. And I think that's pretty phenomenal that the robot. I'll get into my thoughts in a little bit, but I think it's pretty phenomenal that they can tell the texture. But essentially, they say with this technology, a prosthetic hand would feel like part of the wearer's body. The system uses electrical pulses that process dynamic tactile information in the same way as the human nervous system. So it's able to identify the texture and how things feel. Um, it uses three main components: electronic skin with sensors, a set of artificial neurons, and a processor that processes all these signals coming from um, the sensors in the skin and what it's telling the object is like, and it's processing it really fast. Um, it said in principle they want to teach it unlimited number of objects, but they've only done 22 different objects for grasping and 16 different surfaces for touching so far. So this photo right here kind of shows what they've used to help with testing. So pretty cool stuff. What do you think about this? Is this awesome? Is this scary? Is what do you think of use cases here? I want to get your overall thoughts.
Oh, I think this is really cool. And I think like why I'm excited about this is like the use case for prosthetic limbs and giving individuals the ability to gain more of their senses through the prosthetic limb
Hmm.
and being as close to possible to restoring them back to what they were with this
Hmm.
and that. And this brings us a little bit closer, being able to have that ability to sense something through its texture and its feel and its tactileness. I think that is amazing. And I'm excited to see
Yeah.
how far this goes. What are your thoughts
Yeah.
on it?
I agree. I think it's really cool. And I know that people who have lost limbs, and I think of it more so of just nostalgia and the feeling of missing of something of touch, with your fingers and being able to regain that, even if it's at 50% or a portion, what you had before, would just bring back so much more emotion because touch, what if it's not even just in between people, but touch is a very strong sense, very emotionally connected sense, right? If you feel something, for example, if you loved tennis growing up and you lost that feeling and you feel a tennis ball again, you're like, oh, this texture, I miss this, right? Um, or maybe like your partner's hair, running your hands through your partner's hair or something like that. Um, Being able to have even just a little bit of that, I think is really cool, really awesome. The thing that I would be really interested in is the other aspects of touch. For example, temperature. They say that they're looking into developing the system so it can feel pain and heat as well.
That's
And
crazy.
so, yeah, like giving someone a hug, right, with your prosthetic arms, you'd be able to like
Mhm.
feel their warmth, right, and like a heartbeat. That's
Yeah.
crazy. So I think it's really cool. It also makes me think back on like sci-fi films where I can't name one in particular, but I feel like I've heard of I've seen a movie where someone is, engaging with someone with a prosthetic and they're like, I wish I could feel, like the warmth of your skin or the hair or whatever it
Mhm.
might be. And I think about it now and I'm like, why wouldn't they have the technology in the future, right? This only makes sense for this to happen, to have super sensitive sensors to be able to pick up on that. And I think this is just really awesome.
Yeah, I agree. I think, as this evolves, it's going to be getting really close to giving people the ability to get back what they have lost or come that much closer. I mean, obviously, I don't think this would be like an exact one-to-one replacement, but making the best out of a terrible situation, this comes really close to um, getting as close to possible for the
Yeah.
real thing.
Hmm. Yeah. It opens your eyes that it's possible.
Yeah.
And
And then
yeah.
like the other implications that I can't even think about for this technology
Hmm.
and what it can bring.
Or one in my mind is like, what if you don't have a prosthetic? And for example, let's say you want just to have an external sensor and you have the skin placed somewhere. I'm I'm thinking of like spies, right? And you place the skin somewhere that's camouflage, like on a railing or something, I don't know, or a door handle. Okay. And you would know if you could have a remote, it's like e-skin that provides feedback to, something on your hand that you've placed there, or even just connecting it to a computer that picks up the sensors. I don't know. Maybe this is dumb, but just having that like extra feeling of maybe remote feeling, that would be crazy if you can do
Yeah, that
that.
would be crazy.
And so then
Yeah.
you would know if someone opens the door handle or if someone like pats you on the back, or like maybe we have surrogates somewhere else, we're in two places in one time, and you could interact slash uh get the feedback of feeling from these people you're interacting with. I don't know. I think about these future use cases and where this could go.
Yeah. That is crazy. Think about like remote feelings,
Yeah, or,
remote feeling or remote sensing.
yeah, like for example, skydiving. A lot of people don't want to do skydiving because it's so uh scary, the danger aspect of it, right? And so maybe they have like a surrogate bot strapped to a skydiver, and then they have a VR headset put on. And
Hmm.
then all the feeling, maybe that wouldn't really work because they'd only just feel pressure. Like the emotion of adrenaline wouldn't be there. Um I'm thinking about it now, and I'm like, I guess they would only feel like the pressure of the wind, and that's about it. But it'd be interesting to see, what if they go to that next level of neurological triggers, from robots that are in your place experiencing the world.
Yeah, that would just be crazy to think about. I can't even fathom that
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah, there is a movie called Surrogate with I think it's Bruce Willis,
Oh yeah.
and that's what it is. Like people are just people are just like in their house and they have robots just going about their day to day. That's what it's called, Surrogate. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
2009.
never I never watched it. Yeah, I never watched it though.
Me
But
either. Didn't do very well on Rotten Tomatoes.
not very good. Don't watch it,
37%.
people. Yeah, viewers don't watch that. But yeah. And I don't know, maybe that'll come to pass.
Yeah, maybe it will. We will have to, we will keep you all updated as we
Yeah.
as we see it. So, well, that's what we have for you tonight. We want to thank everyone for sticking around with us. Let us know in the comments what you think. Do you think these, let us know your opinions on anything that we talked about tonight. And especially whether you think technology is heading in the right direction or if it is just becoming a whirlwind of the Wild West. Let us know. Give us a thumbs up if you liked it. If you didn't, that other button seems to work all right as well. Make sure you send this video to somebody you disliked. I'm sure they could use it. Um, Make sure you ring that dingling button so you never miss out on any new content as it's posted on the channel.
Yep.
Until next time, stay classy and have a great evening.
Peace.